Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. We are rolling now. Damn microphone. It is Thursday. We're getting a little bit of a dump from Bitcoin today. I flashed the camera for you guys. Still sitting in the dark. Just letting you know I'm still here with you in the dark. This is the last day. Little reminder, we are... sorry, I still got a little of the crud. I'm still a little throaty. We kind of had a run with it this week. We're getting better though. But this reminder, this is the last stream of the week. No stream tomorrow or this weekend. We are moving back to the homestead. As soon as I get done with the stream, I'm going to tear down the rest of the audio equipment and stuff and pack everything up to go. So the next time you see me, we'll be in the homestead, whole new background, whole new everything. That will be Monday. Also, reminder, next week we're going to get back. I've been trading, and you copy guys can know. I mean, we could look at the copy accounts. I've been trading. I mean, we got 18 wins on the week here. Only one losing trade, so we're at 95% win rate. So we've been trading, but starting next week when we're in the homestead and I'm not so busy packing and not sick, I'm going to get back to some really aggressive trading. So if you want to copy trade me, there is a link in the pinned comments. I will try to spam the chat with it real quick. I will be shutting off your ability to copy trade me on April the 1st. So after that, I can choose to allow people to copy trade me by invite only. So after that, it will be by invite only. So if you want to copy trade me, you need to get in there and go ahead and get signed up for that. The link is right there for you. I'll flash that again. We have taken 19 trades this week. We have won 18 of the 19 trades. Since starting copy trade, we have taken 40 trades, 36 wins, 4 losses, and technically it's only 3 losses. For those of you who missed it, if you copy trade me, you're automatically entered on my trades, and I manage it how I manage it. But you can go in there and manually override that, and somebody cut their trade at a 94-cent loss. And as such, even though we wound up winning the trade as a group, it counted as a loss for me because they wanted their 94 cents. So, but 40 trades, 3 losses, not too shabby, guys. So get in there and copy. This is your last chance. If you want to copy me after that, you will have to DM me and request a link after April 1st. So anyway, guys, last stream. Oh, and one more thing. I mentioned it, but I want to make sure you understand. For those of you in the VIP Discord, speaking of which, if you want to join, go now. AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. You can join our community, our VIP Discord. You get all of my trade setups, and you get what I'm about to tell you. Starting back next week, we're going to be doing U.S. Market Open VIP Discord only live trading. So we're going to go in there and do some trading live. And then we'll do the public YouTube live stream a few hours after that. But we're going to start all of that back next week. It's just been a squirrely week, really week and a half because we've been sick and we're moving. So it's just been a squirrely week, and I just haven't had time to do 2 streams each day. That's it. But we're going back to that starting next week. You will have to be a part of the VIP Discord to get that. All right, guys, Bitcoin kind of moving down today, but let's see who's here real quick, and we're going to jump right in. I got some good things for you. Johnny, number 5, our resident Discord pro trader. And I know Johnny hasn't been as active in there either, but it's just because Johnny and I speak a lot. I've known Johnny for years, and we're both under the mindset that we're fixing to get this. And I'm not your daddy. You're responsible for your own money. But I do feel a certain amount of responsibility, as does John, about, not just trying to get you a little baby. And I know some of these bounces turned out to be pretty good, and we took some of these. But, I don't want to be getting you caught in your hand in the cookie jar when we both believe we're about to do this. So Johnny is normally way more active, and I believe he'll get back there. We're just expecting this any dang day now. So we're just kind of sitting on our hands, but once we get to these areas, whether we bottom here or bottom here or bottom here, wherever it is, we expect prolonged consolidation, and John and I both will be trading machines there. Just like when we left here in January, this area, we're following the same fractal. we don't want to get caught trying to catch this little baby bounce. You know, one of these little bitty 1% bounces when we think we have a 20% move coming, right? John and I are both short from 70. I'm 75.8. He's 75.7. Both of us gave you this trade. John actually, no, he got stopped out. He had another short that he gave you later, 70. I don't remember, but I did see his trade that he posted, the bounce continuation trade. So he may still be in that trade. I'll have to check. John, you're here. You can let us know. But we're both short from here. I gave you this trade, and I know John gave you the big bounce trade. I think right here, I think he stopped out. I think it was like 73.5, something like that, maybe 74. I don't know. John, let us know. Anyway, you've had your opportunity to get your big day trade short in. You've had it multiple chances, and we're waiting on this. And then we expect what we're doing now, this prolonged chop for months. So don't worry. John is still there. We talked about it last night, and he feels bad, but he's like, I just don't want to give him a trade because we know some traders, and again, it's not our fault, but some of you hold trades too long, and we don't want to say, what I don't want to say is, oh, I'm taking a long here, and y'all hold it, wrecked. Because when I say I'm taking a long in this area, that means I'm probably in and out because I'm expecting massive downside. But I know some folks like to hold trades a little too long, so just trying to be a little responsible with what we give you these days. Max, what's up, Mighty Max? West Coast Salt Chain, good morning. Carry Bins, I'm not going to share it publicly because you posted it in VIP Discord for just our guys. But Carry Bins, man, that is awesome. I know I responded yesterday, but to your post, that is awesome, dude. Doubled up. I'm so proud of you, bro. Good job, man. Eons, what's going on? Hawkborn says, hey, man, thank you so much for the USDT yesterday again. I need to get it transferred up on the copy trade account. Yeah, Hawkborn, in case you weren't here yesterday, won the Wheel of Destiny, got himself 1,000 USDT. I got you paid out yesterday afternoon. Sorry I was so late paying. I mean, you know what I was doing. I was packing boxes, so it took me a couple hours to get your message, but I did get you sent. I'm glad you got it. Transferred over to copy. Sounds good. Thanos, my main man. He loves the copy trade account. Spyro Gals, what's up? Zup in the house. What's up, guys? Glad you are here. U.S. market is opening in about a minute and a half. We did have news this morning. I got my VPN pulled up, so I can't pull up the news. It was initial jobless, I think. Initial jobless, and it was bearish. Hawkborn, you're welcome. You are welcome. So I had a bearish job report. I want you to notice on my screen, front and center, this big red blood diamond. I'm on the daily time frame. We do not get daily blood diamonds very much. It is unconfirmed. Obviously, anytime a candle is still open, whatever it is unconfirmed. So this, if it stays on, it will confirm at today's close. But we're getting a blood diamond. Let's go back. I haven't even looked. Let's see what the last time we got a daily blood diamond was. Gosh. Right here. The last daily blood diamond was right here at like 103, 103K, 102, 102. And well, you can see what happened. Gosh, that was back in February of 25, a year ago, guys. We got a blood diamond, confirmed blood diamond. You may have had some flash on and off, but before you even got a bounce, you got an 11% move to the downside, and then you bounced and ultimately wound up coming down 27%. But 11% over the next couple few days right there, which would be par for the course with that Coinbase follow that we're looking for. For those of you that don't know, let me flash this on real quick. If you missed the stream yesterday, Coinbase is usually a leading indicator for Bitcoin. So whatever Coinbase does, Bitcoin usually does a few days later, usually 1 to 2 days later. I'm on a daily time frame for both. And you can see if I hover over one screen, the dotted vertical line will show on the other screen. And you can see kind of right here where where Coinbase was kind of going up right here. Coinbase is on the right. See Coinbase kind of going like, I don't know. I'm losing my place. Coinbase kind of pushing up right here over these few days while Bitcoin was pushing down. And then Bitcoin started pushing up. And Coinbase 2 days ago had a 10% drop and still continuing down. And while Coinbase had the 10% drop, you can see Bitcoin here had a move up. And now it looks like it's following through with this drop here for to follow Coinbase. It's an inverse relationship. It's kind of hard to see because it's not day for day, because Coinbase is traded on the traditional stock market, so it's closed. So whereas you may see 7 candles here on Coinbase, that actually covers like a 9-day period versus 7 candles on Bitcoin is a 7-day period, because you, of course, have Saturday and Sunday where Coinbase is not open. So it's a little hard to see, but it is a leading indicator for Bitcoin usually a day or two later. So we called for this a couple days ago. I told you guys about this, and sure enough, there it is. 2 days later, headed down, which it looks like we're getting continuation down, at least for now, for Coinbase. So that could mean prolonged downside pressure for Bitcoin over the next several days if Coinbase continues pushing down. You already know. Let's go to the fractal. This is the fractal. This fractal is from our kind of January, February-ish area here. Really November through January, but we just have the tail end of it here. We were looking for this. We believe that we have already gotten bounce 1. We may not get bounce 2, though. We may not get bounce 2. But you can see in the January timeframe, we got bounce 1 right there from point of control. We got bounce 1 here from point of control. Then you came down to what was their key area at the time. See, key, it was the key area that anytime you close the candle below it, you got a big move down, and you pretty much found good support there. You got a bounce from that key area, which was also the value area low. You got the bounce before ultimately having this massive move to the downside, and that's exactly what we're expecting here. I am looking for this move down to the key, probably. Although I have sneaky suspicion we could, in my opinion, do not blind trade, do not limit trade this box. I'm going to show you why in a second. But I am expecting something like this to come up and roll down and just head all the way down, just like it did here. Bounce from the point of control, come to the key, lower high, boom, roll over and down. Expecting the same. And you can see the blue fractal. That's how it would look right there. And I can actually overlay it so you can see even more how exact it is playing out right there. Right? Look at that, playing out. I mean, each candle doesn't have to be the exact same percent for percent gain or loss, but you get the point. The structure is the same. Moy Marcus, what's up, brother? Glad you can make it, man. I know you late arrivals want to see my face. There I am. Got the old sugar-free Monster in hand. We will be, I know I had some late arrivals here. The no live stream tomorrow. Don't have any of the lighting stuff. Green screen, all that's gone. We're moving back to the homestead tomorrow. So my next live stream will be back in our homestead. Everything will be business as usual. Camera will be back. We'll be back to all the good stuff. So today is the last day of this kind of squirrely stuff. All right, so we're looking for this. Looking for it to play out. Bitcoin's still moving down right now as we speak. Alts are getting pummeled. Some of these alts are down 10+%. Fetch was down about 10%. It's since bounced a couple percent, but it's down. What is this? What is this? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, switched to the wrong chart. Oops. All right, March statistics. We've gone over this several times, but I'm going to keep updating it until it's invalidated. Just if nothing else, instill confidence in you guys that I expect this to play out. We put this on here. This is the daily time frame. We put this on here on March 1st, which, by the way, next week I will have April stats coming out. We'll do an April stream where I tell you what we predict for April. And let me show you these, guys, real quick. Hang with me. I know a lot of you have seen these, but just hang with me. I started doing this in November, but I didn't save November's. But there is a November video on the YouTube page there. But I started saving these in December. I put these out either on the last day of the month or the first day of the month that we're doing analysis on. And here in December, I put this out on November 30th. You can always tell where I put it out because the arrow, my initial directional arrow, starts on the candle where I do the stream because I do this live. I do not prepare this in advance. I do this live. I draw the arrows. I draw the boxes. And I have a spreadsheet where I've compiled all the historical data for Bitcoin since the beginning of time. Now, since Bitcoin began. And I try to glean from that information direction or percentages or maybe dates because I track the wick high, wick low, open, close, the high date, the low date, and I see if there's a trend over the years. And usually we can get at least one solid piece of information that we can build off of. So you can see on December we nailed it. I put this on the 30th. Our target box, we came right down into it. Now when I draw the arrow, I don't necessarily mean we come down there like 2 days later. I just draw it to the box. So point is, we were looking for a move down to about this area, then a move up, okay? And we actually got the move. It looks like we got it here, which we did, but we actually got it on December 1st. You can see here we came down into it and then moved up. So this hit perfectly. We just slightly ran our target box here, but either way, I said a low of 5 to 7% in the first week, and then a high near the 15th, okay? So we nailed this. Oh, and then I said a high in the first week. Let me see what I said. I get confused. It was a long time ago. Here's what I said. Low in the first week of 5 to 7%, and then a high in the first week of 5 to 7%. And we got both of those. I think this was 6.5 to the downside and 7.5 to the high side, or vice versa. So we nailed them. And then we move on. Just real quick, I'm going to fly through these now. We had January stats, which we nailed also. Posted out on December 31st. We were looking for a move up to this box, and I never changed this. Never change it. And then we looked for the move down. We got the big move down here to what was the, I think this was the monthly 55 EMA, I believe. So we got perfect. I mean, we could not have nailed this one any freaking better. Like, couldn't have done it. Then we put the February stats out. February stats out. We put this here. Looking for the move up, which we got. This was on January 31st. We got it. It looks like we didn't, but we actually got it 2 days later right here on February 2nd. So we got the move up into the box, and then it was downside only. Statistics called for this box down here, but I extended this yellow line over, the green line, but I drew it in yellow. I extended this over. This line was not here at the time, and I said this is my target, and I wrote on here that's my low target, and we just kind of wicked that and bounced. So nailed this perfectly as well. So February was nailed, December was nailed, January was nailed, and now we're on March, and so far it is looking so good. And I fully expect this to play out. I don't know that we get way down here by then. I really don't. But I do think, as of now, we have a green candle. It looks white, but that's green. It's just my settings. Green candle for March. And we have never, ever started out to the high side in March, ever started the high side and not closed red, closed bearishly, never. So if we do close positive for the month, that'll be the first time in history, which that's possible. It is possible. However, as long as you have a 100% stat, I'm going to go with a 100% stat, and I'm going to say over the next, 5 days left in the month that we do move down here and close bearishly. So a lot of other indicators point to that as well, but that is just one of them. So anyway, either way, good stats, guys. That's what we're looking for. Salt Chain says, I'm really getting anxious for this dump. When will it finally fall off? Well, we're looking for it any day now. Let's go back to our target chart. Getting that blood diamond, guys. That could be huge if that confirms today. So we're coming up on a daily naked point of control. By the way, the U.S. market is open. It hasn't done anything yet. I'm going to flip over there in a second. I do have my copy trade pulled up, so we might can get in a trade here. But I am looking for a rotation back down to value area low here. At least the local value area low. We have 60K down here as the macro value area low, but local value area low is right here with our key level, daily level, swing low, and a weekly level there. I would expect a bounce there. However, you have all of these equal lows, relatively equal lows right here, okay? There is liquidity below each of these, and liquidity acts out those, you're going to absolutely rip, I mean nuke to the downside, just like this. So you need to be careful here, guys. I have on the chart, oh man, we should have been watching the chart. I just glanced over at MEXC. This should have been a good trade. I have on my chart my green box, and I'm absolutely stop loss right there. And I mean, not a nickel lower. Because if we come into this, if we take these two out, if we take these, I believe we're coming for these, but we could bounce. If we take these and don't bounce, which is the bottom of my box, I fully believe we're coming for these two. Fast. And it could even be something like this. And then you come into them, boom, boom, just to fake you out and right back into them. Okay, this could get really nasty really fast. And you see these little bounces, little baby bounces. You don't see them here. But they were there. If you zoom into like the 5-minute time frame, you have a little baby bounce there, little baby, I don't know where they are, but you get my point. Little baby bounces and then roll over. Little baby bounce, roll over. But on the daily, it's one big dropola. Dang, guys, did we miss this trade? Let's drop down. Oops. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Still not 845 yet. So we did have pretty clear, you know the trend. We nailed this yesterday. It was an easy call, easy freaking call, right? I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, 100%, the bias for the day is down. I mean, at least for the U.S. market open. Maybe not permanent down, but you had Asia and UK trended up. So what happened? The U.S. market opened right here, like right there. U.S. market opened, and they just reversed it all. Easy call, easy call. Now, they did bounce it later, but it doesn't matter. The point is, it was an easy U.S. market reversal call. So with that being said, you would expect, but I'm not so sure today. Asia and UK trended down, so the easy call would be the U.S. to reverse this and probably at least take out, come into this area here. That would be the anticipation. However, yeah. It's just playing with fire, guys. No trade for me here yet. Well, we could have taken this trade a few minutes ago, but we missed it. I was talking. But we had the open with the vector candle down and then the vector reversal. It was before 845, but this is what you're looking for. You guys know what we're looking for. You're looking for the vector open, right, whichever direction, and then you're looking for the next vector reversal, whether it's here, 845, 850, wherever it is. And we happen to get it at 835 today. This would have been a good, easy trade to take. We missed this, guys. I didn't expect it so soon. It's rarely this early. You usually get the fake move that lasts for about 12 to 15 minutes and then the reversal. They just came out with a 1 5-minute fake-ola reverse. We are coming with some good divergence here, though. Unconfirmed. Let's see what happens here, guys. Taking back this big vector right here, coming into some resistance right here, underside resistance. Could be shortable. Why not? We're short. Treating as scalp. Treating as a scalp. We are copy short, guys. We've already TP'd. We already have profit locked in and stop loss at break even, and we're out of the trade. Stopped out. In profit, guys. Quick, easy profit. Another win for the good guys. This thing could come back, though. This could come back. I'm just not messing around with this too much right now. I was kind of caught off guard by it, but you did come up into the resistance. Easy call. You know, you see all this resistance right here? I mean, I'm on a 3-minute time frame, so it's not like it's daily resistance, but it's good enough for a fast wick right there to kind of get you a nice, quick 1-minute scalp back, if nothing else. And that's what we looked for. It's typically what you do in a downtrend, though. If you've ever noticed, if you guys have ever noticed, you not always, but you typically just kind of bounce up to retest the underneath side of what you just broke down from. Broke down from here, boom, bounce up. You didn't quite come into it there, but you almost did. Close enough. You bounce up to the underneath resistance, and then you go. You break down from here. See this breakdown spot? You break down, you bounce up into it, you fall. Same thing we just did here, guys. We just been rinsing and repeating. You broke down from here. We just came up, back tested it, down. Now, eventually you're going to break it, right? Eventually this isn't going to hold. You're going to come up, change market structure here, look for a retrace long. But until that breaks, this is your play. And that's what we just scalped right here on copy. So good job. Add another W to the column. Carry Benz is in. Carry Benz scalp. Oh, wow, you're in the long scalp. Good job. I would have loved to have taken this long. I was just chatting about other stuff. It happened sooner than we expected. Good job, bro. Already TP1. Good job. Carry Benz scalp long, and we're over here scalp shorting. Carry Benz, Mr. Double Up. I need to take a mentorship class from you, bro. Double and carry. We're going to call you double and Benz. Guys, in case you're late joining the party, copy trade. I have a copy trade on MEXC. I have a copy trade account. I just showed it. Show it again. The pinned comment in the chat, pinned chat, is the link to it. And we have taken, this is not correct, I don't think. This is not correct. This hasn't updated yet. In a second, this is going to update, and it's going to say 19 winning trades and 1 losing trade. This is not correct. This is not updated from the trade we just took. It automatically, when you take a trade, shows you a losing trade automatically because you have the fee, which puts you in the negative. So as soon as you enter a trade, it automatically shows you as losing trade. But this is only updated every 10 minutes. So it'll update in a minute, and this will actually switch to a winning trade. But we just hit this trade. For those of you in copy, you get notified when I enter a trade. So you know that I entered, you know we're closed, and you know you made profit. These stats can be very misleading. I was looking at somebody else's copy trade earlier, and you guys got to watch this because I know some of you see some of these big P&Ls, these big, like this guy says he's up 91.25%, but his followers are getting wrecked. I mean, freaking wrecked. And then when you go into his trades, it's like, whoa, he's making 1,000%. Gosh, make 1,000%. Look at his trades, even though he's lost 600% there, 400 there, 300 there, which is 1,200%. So between these two trades, he's losing. Anyway, but you click on his details, and the dude's got 20 bucks. 20 bucks. He got 20 bucks at 200x leverage. He's got 20 bucks on the trade. So does he really believe in his trades? He's 200, 300, 500x leveraging at 20 bucks. And then the ones down here where he's like 20x, kind of normal leverage. I mean, you click on those, and he's got $21 on the trade. So, I mean, he's not really doing anything, but it gives him these huge percentages, like 1,000% wins. I'm like, bro, you're 1,000% win with 20 bucks. Not even 20 bucks. This one's $5. $5 freaking dollars, guys. He's $5 at 1,000%. I don't even know what that is. $5 times 1,000%. So he's up 10 bucks. Which, I mean, 10 bucks is 10 bucks. But I promise you, if you're 200x leveraging, you're losing your $5 a lot more than you're winning that $10. I guarantee you. So be careful with this stuff. Be careful when you see these guys with these crazy win percentages. I don't understand how the win percentages are. Let me refresh this. I'm trading mine like a teeny tiny account. I have two separate $5,000 accounts. You've all seen them, okay? But on this copy account, I'm only trading $300. $300. It says my total return on investment is less than 1%, but for the week, right? Less than 1% for the week, but my profit is $135. So I'm actually up 45%, and I think those of you that are trading bigger accounts know that because some of y'all are up $1,500 on the week. I'm up 45%. I'll show you. Let me pull it over. Look, I have $313 in there. I just had a winning trade. So I'm trading a $300 account. I'm up $135 on the week, but it says I only have a 1% return on investment. I don't understand. I'm actually 45%, but whatever. I'm 45%. So you could be 45% up of whatever you put in. If you have a $100,000 account, then you're up 45 grand on my trades this week. I've explained why I'm trading with a small account here. Number one, I'm in a large short on my big account, $5,000, 30x leverage from up here. But when I start trading big like that, $5,000, 30x leverage, $150,000 margin, I start looking at dollars. I'm like, okay, I'm only up $500. That's not enough. All right, I'm up 1,500. I want to get up 3 grand before I take profit. And I don't want to be that way with copy trade. I want to be like, $500 on $5,000 is 10%. I want to be like, I'm up 10%. Take profit, right? Because I'm responsible for your account. And I'm not going to TP at $500 because that's not very much to me. Even though at 10%, that is a lot. That is a good trade. It's not a lot of cash. So trading with a $300 account, when I get up 30 bucks, that's nothing. I don't care about that. But I'm able to see that that's 10%. And what are the odds of me 100%ing this? Not very good. So I don't have to wait on $300 before I'm like, And even if I did, it's not very much. So I'm liable to let it go, keep running. But anyway, I can trade with a smaller account and it allows me to focus on percentage gains for you, which is why we're up 45% on the week. And if I had a $5,000 account, I probably would not have even taken profit yet. But instead, I got you guys up 45%. I hope that makes sense. But I don't know why it shows me it just bounced up to like 1.4% when I'm really up 45%. I don't know. I don't understand this. This is my first time as a copy trader, guys. Y'all know that. Kerry Ben says he will lose half our money in 5 days. Well, shit, we'll just make it back on copy. Kerry Ben, you're doing pretty good on copy this week, I think. Thanos, I think you're doing pretty well on copy this week. All right, let's move on, guys. Again, we're going to do a lot more copy trading next week when I get settled in. A lot more, guys. Y'all be ready for that. Let me look at this real quick. Bitcoin kind of bounced back up in this area. Let me see if we set a 1 minute divergence. We did not. Thanos says, yes, indeed. He's been scalping alongside me also. Good job, bro. Good job. There's no 1 minute divergence here. It could move down and probably will, but I don't like it. It doesn't have the divergence, so I'm not going to reshort this. My favorite trade to get in is when we have divergences, bigger divergences. Obviously, weekly, daily, stuff like that. But, even like 24 minute, 12 minute. Let's say we had let's say this was 12 minute. We had a divergence there on a 12 minute time frame, right? But we did not have a 1 minute divergence here. Okay, my favorite trade is when we have like the 12 and then we come down and come back and settle 1 minute. This is my favorite trade. Same thing for longs. My favorite trade, because now we have the, I say higher time term frame, you know, we have the 12 minute higher and the 1 minute. It's my favorite ones, especially if we're at a key resistance area or an SFP. But anyway, I like it when you get the old loopity swoop and then set the 1 minute. But we didn't do that here, so I don't like it. It doesn't mean we can't move down from here. You don't have to have 1 minute divergence, but we didn't. We got higher highs and higher highs, so I just don't like it as much. Actually, we do have it on RSI though. Look, RSI. I put an RSI on here. I'm just looking at some things. So we do have it on RSI, but not on momentum waves, not on Cypher. We are crossing in the red, money flow. Probably going to move down. Looking at some alts. If anybody has any alts, we looked at a few yesterday. Spam your alts in chat, guys. I will take a look at your alts today. Some of these are about to get hit. Some of these, look, let's look at WorldCoin just for quick example, because we like WorldCoin. But WorldCoin's already pushing back to new lows. I mean, you have the October 10th low. We haven't taken out yet, but new lows for this range, right? That's what I'm telling you. Your alts are going to get freaking hammered. Wayne, what's up, bro? Your alts are going to get freaking hammered, guys. A lot of you think they're going to hold up, and maybe a few of them will. There may be an exception or two. But look, you're already back at lows, right? You're already back here at the lows. While Bitcoin, let's go side by side. While Bitcoin is not even close to the range lows, right? Not even close. I mean, Bitcoin still has another, just to get 60K, still has another 14% down, while you're already at range lows right now. So even if Bitcoin just came down and swooped this low, you know, did a 14, 15% and then went, if that's all it did, which we know it will because you're going to sit in a springboard, I mean, you're also going to look like this. You're already at lows, while Bitcoin's holding up at the value area high. So do not financial advice, I am not interested in buying altcoins right now, although I do regret selling the fetch. I do really regret selling the fetch. We're going to look at hype. I haven't looked at hype in a while. I don't. Let's go to the weekly. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know everybody's kind of stoked about hype. I hear all the hype about hype. Here's the problem with this for me, and I'm not trying to knock the coin. Let me just state, no matter what coin we look at, whether it's hype, anything other than about 4 coins, I know nothing about as far as their as far as their fundamentals. So all I'm going to speak on in these coins are their technicals. And what I don't like about hype, which is the same thing I don't like about a lot of these coins, is it's brand new. It's been out less than a year, right? It's been out less than a year. It has not experienced a bear market, so we don't know. Like, you just don't know. Like, are you going to bear market down here? Or are you going to bear market, like, right here? I mean, we just don't know. And it didn't go through a full, well, really no altcoin had a good alt season, but it didn't really go through a full bull cycle either. So you don't know, like, is this all-time high forever? Or if it had a real cycle from back here, would it have gone way up here? We just don't know. So we have such limited data to work with. However, it looks, as of now, solid. But again, I don't know anything about this project, but it looks solid. At least for the price action you got, it is holding up really well. The also problem with that is you don't know if this is going to be all-time high and you're going to return to that all-time high. So if this is as low as you get, you just go there and then, you know, you rinse and repeat, something like this. You don't know. You just don't know. But if that were the case, from current price action all-time high, that's only a 60% gain. And that's terrible. I mean, Fetch AI, just for example, is this far down from its all-time high, currently 93%, and just did, in the last week, a 92% gain, and is not even close to the all-time high. But for hype, it's only 60% to the all-time high. So there's not enough history here to see if the return on investment here would be good. There's just not enough. And I don't know anything about the fundamentals to know if this is going to be a project that's going to, get picked up on. They're going to partner with anybody. You got any burns coming up? I don't know the tokenomics. I don't know. Do you have token releases that are going to come up that's going to drive the supply up, therefore the demand down? I just don't know. But just based on technicals, there's not a lot here. It just looks solid, right? Like if this is forever your range, it looks solid, but price is way too close to the all-time high to buy this coin. I know it's not what you want to hear, but in my opinion, you want coins that have been through one prior cycle, not two or three. 2 or 3, those coins have shown. We can look at Algorand, which is great proof of that. Those coins have shown to be kind of old news. I'm on the weekly. Algorand's been around forever. 3 cycles, it went to over $3. 2 cycles, it went to $3.25 and then right at $3. 2 cycles in a row, and then this cycle it only did 62 cents. These coins are shown to be kind of old news, and the newer coins are pumping more. But what you want is something like this. Algo had a bull cycle here, right? Bull cycle here. Then it did a bear market. So you're able to see what you get in the bear market and then still ride it up. And you know your support and resistance zones on the way, right? You know the support and resistance zone on the way, so you can better trade this along the way. You have better targets, okay? You obviously knew all-time high was up there. You knew that you were going to have some support and resistance here, right? Because you can see where you had it. Let me erase this value area range. You can see where you had the bounce, support and resistance here. So you knew when you got here, you were going to find support and resistance, right? And here, support and resistance. So it's a lot easier to trade. Here you came into it. Would have been a good sell target area with this wick because you knew right here you were going to find it. And you knew kind of what to expect. And then, of course, last cycle, I know everything underperformed, but it just showed that these older coins are just old news, just dying. But with hype, you don't have a previous cycle. You don't have a previous bear cycle, nor do you have a previous bull cycle. So you don't really know. You don't really know. And to me, it may perform great. But to me, it's too much unknown. It's too much of a risk. It's a gamble. So if I did take the gamble, I certainly wouldn't throw my entire bank account at it. I want something that's got a little bit more history so I can be a little more predictable. And I know anything can happen. Any coin can go to 0. Any coin can go to $1 million. But like with Fetch, which I'm huge on, you had a previous cycle. Right? You had a previous bear market, so when you came into this cycle, you knew exactly where your support and resistance are going to be. So if you were trading this for accumulation, you knew on the way up, because of that area there, you're going to have some support and resistance right there, right? The area just above it, you knew you're going to have some support and resistance there, right? And look, you did perfectly. See, because of this, you knew you'd have this. Because of this, you knew you'd have this. And let's extend that over, see if it's translating to today. Look at that. Perfect. And this other one, exactly where you found support and bounced from. I can trade this. I can make a lot of money on this. Even if this doesn't go back to all-time high, if this does not go back to all-time high, I can still trade this. I know whenever we bottom, let's say we bottom here. Let's just say we bottom here. I know when we come back up here, I'm probably going to sell somewhere around here, retrace, then I'm going to buy, then I'm going to come up to this zone. I'm going to know that I'm going to sell in here somewhere, right? Retrace, find support at this zone, buy, and then come up here. And that's all. If that's all we get, because we come to this section right here, let's say that's all we get, I'm going to know that's where I need to get out. Either way, I'm going to be selling here, because what are the odds of us blasting through this big support and resistance area? Not likely. Not very likely that we blast through that. So I'm going to sell there regardless and wait on a retrace and see if we come back to this zone, right? See if we come back to this zone of support and find support. If we bounce there, then I'll rebuy, thereby accumulating more coins to go back up and take another crack at this. If we don't, we start falling through, then good. I sold the top. Okay? I have this previous history so I can know how to play it in the future. You don't have that on hype. And I like this, but I may be a little more of a trader than just a hodler. I want to accumulate on the way up. I want to start out with whatever. I want to start out with 500,000 coins here. 500,000 coins, maybe worth 75K. But by the time I get here, I want to have 2 million coins, right? Because I'm going to buy, sell, rebuy, sell, rebuy, sell. I'm going to accumulate on the way up without putting another nickel in. So I'm going to 4X my coins without spending another nickel. And I got my support and resistances to do that along the way. That's how I do it. That's how I've always done it. And you just don't have that here. I know I'm harping on about it, but this really applies for any coin. I'm speaking for any coin. So let's look what we do, and this is where the problem for maybe my style is wrong. First of all, it's not much history, but you should take this approach with every coin, in my opinion. This is your clear support and resistance right there, right? Clearly. You came into it, you rejected, which is great. Okay, I got that, but what else do I have? I don't know. I'm going to know when you come down here to expect a bounce somewhere, but short of that, I can't trade this. I mean, if I come down here, yeah, I know to buy. Very low, got support right there, probably going to get a bounce. When I come here, I'm probably going to sell because you're going to run into all this. Then if I find some support here, right, I could rebuy, but where do you go after that? Do you go higher? I mean, I don't know. There's nothing here. And if you do go higher, where do you sell? I don't know because there's nothing here. And that's just a problem for me and my style. A lot of people buy here and just hold all the way up, and that's great. I don't. Like if you spend 20K here, and then you 4X your money, you make 80K, right? Great, that's awesome, seriously. But I want to 4X this to 80K coins. I want to 4X this by selling, rebuy, and then I'm going to 4X this. So I'm going to make 320K to your 80K as a hodler. And that's how I've always done it. Very, very successfully. And I just can't do that on a coin like this. So I personally would avoid this. And if you get in my Discord, I'm going to be giving you, and I've already started giving you these trades as I take them so that you can accumulate alongside me. Everybody in my Discord is going to be able to accumulate the exact same way that I do. I haven't given too many yet because, in my opinion, we haven't bottomed. So we're not on the way up to start taking these trades. We've taken some. I mean, I've made over $45,000 trading alts since February 1st. Just doing that, same thing. Buying the lows, selling the resistance. All right, I know I rambled on about that. But again, guys, I'm not knocking hype or waning. That's a great question, great coin. I just want you guys to maybe consider looking at all of your altcoins that way when you sit down at a chart. If they don't have the history and you plan on accumulating, you're accumulating blind. And I don't want to do that. Like with World here, I know where my lines are. I know. I could trade this, support and resistance. And look how it plays out. Look how it plays out. Even on this like lower time frame stuff, boom. You had the clear support and resistance area here, right? You had the clear support and resistance area here, right? You see it, boom. So when you come back up to it, sell, right? You can buy down here. You had support and resistance right here, right? Right there. You see it, support and resistance. I'll extend it over. It kind of bleeds into this box here. But as soon as you got into it, you knew that was a buy. That was most likely a buy, right? You came down into it. Yeah, you wicked it a little. That's cool. You created some divergence. You came right back up, right into your resistance box, sell. And if you did that, let's say you didn't even catch the bitty bottom. Let's say you just took out this wick here and took that. That's a 45% move. That's 45%. Just trading the support and resistances. I mean, even before that, you had the support and resistance there. Boom. So you knew when you came into it right there, right? You already had that. See the potential, you guys. See the potential. Boom. Come back to it. Sell it off. Come back here, look for support. If you lose support, then look for the next area down. And where do you find the next area down? By scrolling left. Well, unfortunately on WorldCoin, we're at the bottom of the range, so there really is no left, which is great. Hopefully that means up only. Selling each one of these. Rebuying, selling, rebuying, selling, rebuying. And you got another zone here. Selling, rebuying. What makes you think it's going to go that high? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't, but it went to $12 last cycle, so clear-cut wicks, too. Clear-cut, strong resistance. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Clear zones of resistance. Clear. I like this. I can trade this. I can accumulate this. I can make a fortune on this, assuming we get some upside momentum here. Doesn't even have to go very high. All right, guys, any more alts? I promise not to ramble on so much. I think I proved, or at least maybe didn't prove anything, but I stated my point. See what Bitcoin's doing. Had a little pump, just kind of hanging out. Max says near. Haven't looked at near in a week or two. Already got it saved. Let's go see. I'll show you guys something in a second again. Let's see. I'm on the daily. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, we haven't looked at this in a couple weeks. Let's drag this over. Hang on 1 second, guys. Give me 30 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to look at near, then I'm going to show you something that I showed you yesterday, but I think it was kind of skimmed over, and I think it's ultra important. Near on the weekly looks good. I like this coin. I like this coin. I really like this coin. The only problem that I have with this coin Let me see. So I like this coin for multiple reasons. The whole big spiel that I just gave about support and resistance and trading, I do like it for that. So if it does get the move, and again, I know nothing about the fundamentals. If you do get the move back up here, you'll have your clear-cut support and resistance, so you can trade and accumulate this, right? Really easy to accumulate. You can see you're getting it right there. You had the support zone, or excuse me, support now resistance zone, which worked out perfectly. So if you got this bounce down here somewhere, you would have known exactly where to take profit or sell, right? I like that. You got a clear box above it, right? Clear box above it. So if you do break through that zone, you're going to have another one. So this would be an easy trade. If you broke this, you're going to come into this somewhere. I don't know where. It doesn't matter. And then you're probably going to come back into this. And so it would be an easy sell and an easy rebuy. If you get, especially if you get the divergences and reactions you want to see here. So you could accumulate really easily here. You can throw on your volume profiles to these areas to kind of get a better idea. Yeah, right in there, you're at least going to retest the underneath side of it, right? You know how we do. So you would come up, and do you get rejection from value area low? If you get accepted back in, you got point of control. That's a good TP area. And if you break through that with confirmation closure, then you're probably going to the value area high. So super easy to trade. And then if you get acceptance back into this range and you don't just rotate back down here, super easy to just extend the range out and then trade this range until you break the next range. And you go into the next range, you can see it clearly right there. Okay, so just super easy to trade. And not even from a trading standpoint, I like this coin. There's one thing that I don't like about it, and I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard by this, and I could be wrong. But you have, and I understand this is it's a bearish structure that typically has a bullish breakout, but not always, okay, not always, especially on the macro. And what I don't like about it is you just flipped market structure bearish, right? You set a macro lower low. Macro, like big macro, like life of the coin macro. I don't count this. I don't count this because this is when the coin was released. And, you know, some coins are, when coin you can't trust. Coins will be released right here and they drop straight down. And then this is the real price, right? Same thing here. It was released here and it just shot straight up. And this is the real price. So you just flipped major macro bearish, which would indicate this is not your macro high, okay? This is your macro high. Your swing high, this would be the swing low. So the highest high set after the swing low would be the swing high. So this is your swing high, not this. That doesn't mean you're not going to get above this. What that means is you probably won't get above this, and if you do, you'll just wick it. So it would probably be something more like this, and then you're just going to continue working that channel. So that is the only thing I don't like about it. However, this is not done to the downside. Remember, if Bitcoin comes all the way down sub 60K, which we believe it will, I fully believe you're going to rotate all the way back down to value area low here, about 60 cents. And so I would like this coin in the green box that I have on here, and then I would like a play no higher than value area high because you have flipped structure bearishly, okay? So you're now setting macro lower low, so you would expect a macro lower high. Does that make sense? Okay, kind of like you did here. Set a lower low, you got a high, lower high. I'm going to expect another lower high. So I would expect a fill of this range, which that's not bad. If you get that, just blue line to blue line, I mean, that's an 8x. That's 800%. So I like this coin. It doesn't look bad. It looks good. It's holding up pretty well. A lot of coins. I love WorldCoin. You know, I love WorldCoin, and WorldCoin is already down here below value area low. So I love it. So I'm not saying you can't make money here. I actually like this coin. I think it's a good coin. I don't know anything about the coin. Don't lie. I like the structure of it, though, even though it's bearish. Yeah, let me say it that way. Even though it's bearish, it doesn't look like it's about to die. And even though it's bearish and I don't think you set a new high, the return on investment is quite good for minimal effort, just back to value area high. So kind of a standard move back to value area high is a good return on investment, better than most coins, and it looks good. It looks decent. It looks macro bearish, but it looks good enough for an 8X. See, I'm not negative about all altcoins. All right, I'll take any other ones you guys want to look at. Bitcoin just doing nothing, kind of right where we opened the stream at. WorldCoin moving back down. Gosh, if you guys get another crack, I don't know if we will. If you guys get another crack, or if I get another crack at 13, 14 cent fetch, I'm selling the kids and buying fetch. My main man wants to see XVG. XVG this. Let's take a look. Same thing, bro. I mean, we looked at this last week. It is literally in the exact same spot. Literally in the exact same spot. Finding really solid support here. You can see how many times. I mean, this is the spot. There's two spots. I mean, this is clear, strong support. I mean, we've been here 1, 2, 3, and even here you wicked it, wicked it. Wicked it, wicked it, wicked it. Clear support. But when you break it, every single time you have broken this, which you're about to, you've gone here. Look, you broke it there. Other than a quick wick, you confirmed. Let me say you confirmed a break. You've gone there every time. Actually below. That's point of control. So you confirm below that, boom. Confirm below it, boom. Confirm below it, boom. Boom. And actually, so the minimum, same thing back here. Same thing back here, twice. It's hard to see. There it is. All the way to it, all the way to it, twice. And actually, the minimum that you went to was, looks like this wick right here. Every other time you close below it, that's where you went. Every time. Every time. So I'm a buyer on this. You know what? I'm not even a buyer here. I mean, I want to shorten this box. Every time you've gone at least to point of control, and each time you lost point of control, you went to this white line. So I'm going to update this box to something like that. Okay, and you're going to go there. You will go there. I like this coin. Okay, it has bullish structure. I've got the highs marked, but you can see you're making higher lows also, at least macro higher lows. What I don't like is you kind of set this, but this was a wick, so I don't really count that. But either way, this looks good. This looks really good. You have the clear, which I don't really count this all-time high because this was released when a coin was released, and we just talked about that. However, you do have clear support. You did find clear support and resistance here, very clear, right? You see, you did have price action up here, just not all the way at the tippy-toppy high, but you did have price action here, and so it's easy to mark out your support and resistance. As soon as you came back to it this cycle, boom, found the resistance, easy take profit or sell area right there. Even if you didn't know these lines right here, you would have known that there's a lot of price action here, so you're going to find something. So if you're trading, easy area to trade, you sell there, come down, see if you catch a bounce, and you didn't. So you'd have been like, whew, okay, great, I sold the top, and I knew where to sell because of here. But if you would have come down here to value area high and caught a good bounce, you could have rebought here and then take another stab at this, but you didn't. So this would have been easy to sell the top one, very easy. Whether you knew it was the top at the time or not, it's a very easy sell because of this. Because you're going, like 95% going to find some resistance here and at least reject. And then you may come back to it, or you may not and head down like you did. But there's no reason for you to hold right here on the first attempt. None whatsoever. Fully expect a rejection because I love coins like this because it makes it easy to trade and easy to sell tops. Even if you didn't go at the exact same penny, it's easy sell, and anywhere in this box is an easy sell. And that way you're not running back. Oh gosh, are we going to bounce? Shit, it's over. And then you're selling for, a third of what you had up here. No, you just sell because you know the first time in this box you're going to reject. And then you wait and see how it plays out. Do you catch a bounce or do you head down? If you catch a bounce, you rebuy, you accumulate coins, resell. You head down, then great, you sold the top. I like this coin. So when we come down to the green box, not if, but when, let's see what the percentage is. Let's say we come to the white line, which we probably will. All the way back up to the top is a 5X. There are better coins, in my opinion, as far as return on investment. And again, this coin could take off to $100. I don't know. All I'm looking at are the technicals. But I can tell you one thing. If you come here and catch a bounce, you will or should sell here, right? And then if you come down and catch a bounce, great. You can rebuy and maybe set a new all-time high. But you have a clearly defined sell area at a 5X, 500+%. Clear. So I would feel fairly confident here, especially since you do have higher highs and higher lows. You still are bullish, which means I would expect at least a retest of the high. I expect a minimum of 5X here. And I know I'm selling here at first shot because you will not come through this first shot. A lot of people bought this top. So when it comes back here, rotates back here, they're going to sell and thank the Lord that they got out of break even. So full rejection there. Do not hold through this box in my area because you'll reject the first time and then you may get another shot at it. So this is an easy, in my opinion, not financial advice, 5X coin that looks solid and strong. Hope that makes sense. And you had told me something about this coin. This coin could be one of those coins that has much more upside potential if the narrative can take off. So I like it for an easy, solid 5X as is, and if the narrative takes off, you could rip right through that. I like it that it's tradable. It has clearly defined support and resistance area. Like, there's no question in this. This is not sporadic. I mean, this is very freaking obvious. Very, very, very obvious. Right? Very obvious. I like that. And it has bullish market structure. You just can't beat something like this. The only downside of something like this is this here is not like 20x from here, right? That's it. Other than that, this looks great. I'm interested in this coin, and you know this coin is on my radar. Not where it is now. I am not interested in where it is now. The risk to reward or the return on investment just isn't there. If you were to take off from here, I mean, you only get a 3x. But I am interested in this green box. I appreciate you sharing this one with me. This was a good one to put on my radar. Let me be clear. I don't like any of them as much as I like Fetch. Fetch is going to be my workhorse, I believe. But I'm down to, so I will carry Fetch, well, most likely, if Fetch comes back. I will not buy Fetch at current price or higher. if it comes back, I will buy Fetch, WorldCoin, and I am between, as of now, Zcash and XVG, but I'm definitely not interested in Zcash at current price. But one of those two will likely be my third. I'm going to try to run 3 coins if I can. I will for sure run 2 coins. Most likely 3. I know a lot of guys put their eggs all in one basket, but gosh, what do you do? Like, just ask those people that committed suicide, the Luna Classic guys. Had all their eggs in one basket. Luna Classic is $100 plus, and then it crashes to sub 1 penny, right? All your eggs in one basket. If you got half your eggs in this basket, right, and then your other half was in Fetch, even if this one crashes, probably worst case scenario, you break even, right? You go to 0 on this one, you take your profits on this one, you break even, which sucks. You didn't make any profit, but at least you didn't lose everything you had. And let me tell you something, guys. There are coins. Terra Luna was a top 5 coin. Don't think XRP or Ethereum or Cardano. Do not think one of those can't go to 0. Do not think. Nobody would have thought a top 5 coin like Luna could go to 0, and it did. And it went there in about 1 week. It's not like it dwindled down there over 4 or 5 years. So, spread your eggs at least into 2 baskets, not financial advice. Plus, what if you get a coin that you thought this was going to do a 30x and you wind up with a 3x? You know, at least you got another coin that might give the 30x. And you might be like, well, shit, I didn't see that coming. I'm glad I did that because I did wind up getting my 30. And on this one, I only got a 3. Chances are they'll both do about the same, whatever it is, 10x, 5x, whatever. But you never know. Zcash has the potential for aggressive pumps for sure, but it's nothing special from where it is now. And I'm not even knocking the coin. It's a good coin, but I mean, you're like, you did this once. I know it's a little lower, but you basically did it twice. So cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. So you've done the same thing, right? You've just kind of done the same thing. And I mean, you know, this could rip to $100,000. This could be like neck and neck with Bitcoin for all I know. But if it's been around for almost 10 years and this is all it's done 3 different times, you just can't bank on it doing this. You have to bank on it coming back here again, right? And if that's the case, and it very well may, but if that's the case, from current price, I mean, you're only getting the 2x. And that's, which is great. This coin looks strong as hell. It looks super strong. But there are other coins that can sneeze and give you a 2x, right? This one has to go to all-time high to give you a 2x. Right? I mean, look. And I don't know, WorldCoin could crash and go to 0, but let's just say WorldCoin. WorldCoin's all-time high is $12. It's 30 cents. If WorldCoin just goes to there, this bright orange line, boom. If it just goes to there, you got a 2x. Much less all-time high like Zcash has to do. Which, I mean, Zcash is very likely, if this is as low as it's going, it was very likely to go to a new all-time high. But you get my point. I don't think WorldCoin goes all-time high, but if it did, I mean, you get a 3,800% gain, you know, a 38x, a 40x, not a 2x. So I love Zcash. It's very strong. It's very good. But if you're just looking at the technicals, you can't bank on new all-time highs, especially when it's had 10 years to do it and has not been able to do it yet. 8 years. You just can't bank on it. However, if Zcash comes down to here, I'm buying, actually even the orange line. I put the orange line. I said if Zcash even comes to $80, I'm buying Zcash. That's a 10x back to the price that's already done 1, 2, 3 times. Don't get caught buying these coins that are strong, quote unquote, strong coins that are this close to their all-time high. You're going to get wrecked, most likely. But yeah, Zcash is good. But come on. If that does a 2x from here, all-time high, rejection, you can't tell me WorldCoin's not going to outperform that. I mean, last time WorldCoin got to 27 cents, which I have a buy order set right now. Last time it got to 27 cents, it bounced in one day to $1. It 4x'd in one day. So I got to believe there's a lot of buy orders right here, and I'll show it to you. I have 27.85 right there. I have an $82,000 buy order for almost 300,000 WorldCoin. 27.85. It could go lower. It probably will go lower before the bear market's over, but I like a good bounce there. I like a swoop of the October 10th low and a big bounce. Now, if Bitcoin is just doing this, then WorldCoin is going to fall off. WorldCoin is going to 15 cents. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay. If I buy WorldCoin at 27 cents and it goes to 20 cents and I go in whatever that is, 20% drawdown, whatever, I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I don't think there's a chance in hell that WorldCoin doesn't go back to at least $2. So I will take that 8, 9x all day long with clear accumulation, tradable, double, triple, quadruple my coin levels on the way up, right? Right? Easy. I buy here, I sell there. I rebuy there, I sell there. I rebuy there, right? Whenever I come into these zones, rebuy. You got the big zone here, you sell. Right? Super easy. Super easy. And then what happens? You reject, most likely. And I'm not just going to blind sell. I'm going to look for divergence and reaction, right? And then I got the zone of support right below it. I marked it in red. You come back, I rebuy. And then I come up in here. If I get a good divergence, daily divergence, I might sell again. If I don't, I'm going to let it go. Where do you go to? I go to my next level. Boom. Right above it. Right there. Probably at that point, you're coming to take out this swing high, which I definitely think you do at 220. And that may be all you get. And that'll give me a 10x from 27 cents. Not only that, I plan to 4x. Let's just even say I 3x them. 3x, I'm going to show, and I'm going to show you guys in Discord this. I'm going to literally show you guys this in Discord. So if I buy 300,000 coins right there for $82,000. So let me show you. Let me show you because I want you guys to get on board with this. People don't realize how much you can make on altcoins. They think altcoins are shit coins. You can't make any money. Well, maybe not hodlers, but hodlers can. But you know what I mean. I want to buy 300K WLD for $82,000, okay? I'm going to try to 4x that, but let's just say I suck and I only 2x that, which I can do in my sleep. I 10x'd my Algorand. I showed you guys. I 10x'd my Algorand holdings, my coins last cycle, 10x. I bought 133,000, I think, and I had over 1 million at one point. But let's just say I 2x. No, that's too easy. Let's say I just 3x. My goal is 4 to 5, but let's say I 3x coins equals 900K. And I have documented proof and showed you guys this. I posted it in Discord too. 900K, and let's say it just goes to take out that 220 high, which I think it'll do easily. Let's call it a nice even $2 because I don't want to time the tippy top. So I'm going to sell 900K coins times $2 1.8 million. That is dollars, y'all, from $82,000. And if you don't think that's possible, you should see my P&L from last cycle. And what is that, 82 times 9? What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. Whatever, you get the point. That's a lot of money. That is like a 20x. That is a 20x return on investment. And it's not that hard to do. It's really not that hard to do. But you guys got to understand, you can make that kind of money. Let me show you real quick. I know I'm harping on about things, but you guys have to see the potential of this. The potential is not in Bitcoin leverage trading. Yeah, you can make some money, and that's great, and I do that too. The real big money is in accumulation, spot trading, altcoins. Let's say you bought, I just want to give you like kind of a real doable example here, okay, of how you're going to accumulate this. Let's say you bought $10,000 of WorldCoin at 20 cents. All right, that's going to give you 50,000 coins, okay? At 20 cents, right? I want you guys to pay attention. I'm going to be really brief. I know I'm rambling on. Equals $10,000 at 20 cents, okay? And let's say you rode that up to, I don't know, 60 cents, right? That's kind of the next little level right here, right? Right, your next little resistance level here. Y'all watch this, guys. I'm going to show you how I do this. Say you rode it up right in there about 60 cents, right? So you bought WorldCoin here, 20 cents. You rode it up there. That's your first sell area, right? And then let's say you came back to this area for a support. Boom, right? So we're going to come back here. I'm going to show you how this is done. Okay, and that is about, say, 35 cents. Okay, so we're going to take 50,000 WorldCoin, and we're going to sell it at 60 cents. Okay, now we have $30,000, right? It's going to be very brief, guys. 50K times 0.60 equals 30K, right? Well, then we're going to take that 30K, because we just sold, and we're going to buy at, we're going to retrace to 35 cents. That's going to give you 85,700 coins. 85.7K coins. You've just picked up 35,000 coins, okay? 35,000 coins, and that is not a big pullback, guys. First of all, it's just support to resistance or resistance to support. That's a 30% pullback. You get 30% pullbacks all the freaking time. I mean, just look at this pullback right here. And you may not nail the tippy top, but that's a 55% pullback, right? You get these all the time. 25%, okay? You've just added 35,000 coins, right? And so if you were to take your original 50,000 to $2, that would give you $100,000. But now if you only did that one trade and you're taking 85.7 coins to $2, you're now making $171,000. So you're making $71,000 more dollars than you would have made by doing this one simple trade. You sold resistance, you bought support, you made 70+ thousand more dollars if you only went to $2 on a $12 asset. So you do the math. If you did this 4 or 5 times, you could really get up there with some profits, guys. And I'm going to walk you through this in Discord as I do it. If you choose to trade other coins, so be it. That is on you. I am not fixing to chart 3,000 coins for everyone. I will chart the coins I'm working on. That way I will be very familiar with my support and resistance areas, so I will know where I want to spot trade at. If you want to follow me, great. But this is exactly what we're going to do, guys. And we're going to make big dollars. How much are you going to make leverage trading Bitcoin on that time? I can assure you it is a minimal fraction as to what we're going to make spot trading these altcoins. The key, guys, is down here. Do not, wherever this ends up, chopping around before you move up, do not worry about your dollars down here for spot trading alts. Worry about your coins. Coins, not dollars. Like I may do a trade here for $50,000. You know, I buy, I sell, I rebuy, and by the time it comes back down, I only have $45,000. That looks like I lost money, but I don't care if I picked up 20,000 coins because I know at $2, 20,000 extra coins is going to give me 40,000 extra dollars. So during the bear market, it's coins, not dollars. And when you start the bull market, it's dollars, not coins. Then you worry about the dollars. But right now, you worry about getting as many coins as you can. And if you can grasp that concept, you will not emotionally trade this, and you will make a lot of money. This is how I make all of my money, almost all of my money. I know you see my decently impressive leverage trade, Bitcoins, but that's nothing. That's a small percentage. The big money is made right here, just like this. Hope that makes sense, guys. And if any of you have any questions, privately message me. I'll be happy to walk you through it. But if you don't want to trade my coins, go ahead and pick out your coins, get them charted up. You don't have to have all this crap, these lines on here, but at least go through and put your boxes on like I did here. And if you plan to accumulate or spot trade, you want to have those marked out. So when you do start moving up, you're going to know, okay, you need to kind of like be looking to buy or sell whatever area and color code them. Red is your sell, so there's no question. And then change it. If you get above this, right, you get above this, you get above it. Now this becomes your buy box, right? So you're going to go in and you're going to change this box. Once you get above it, not before. Once you get over it, now it becomes your buy box. Just so it's stupid easy. But again, none of these are auto buys. You could get here just like the XVG when we looked at it. You could get here and just... So you want to see the reaction and the divergence. And that's going to let you know you're going to your next zone, which would be like this, right? Or really more like this. I know my chart's messy. You get the point. All right, guys. Any more questions? I know I rambled a lot about alts. The reason I rambled so much about alts, guys, is I believe we're near the bottom. I believe we are very near the bottom, and you need to be ready. Your first round of significant accumulation is about to be here. I think the Bitcoin bottoms in the next couple weeks, and if it does, that is going to be your bottom for alts. That is where you start your main accumulation, and then you start your first sell, and then you come back. You may double bottom, and then you break through that, and then you sell, and you buy, and you sell, and you buy. And it may not look exactly like that, but you get my point. You need to be ready. So I've harped on about this longer than I should have, and I'm sorry. Blame it on the cold medicine. All right, guys, one more look at Bitcoin before we get out of here. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you, last thing. I showed you this yesterday, but check it out. Just because I'm so impressed with this, our return on investments for Bitcoin, last cycle return on investment is in green. We're currently in red, and at this exact point in the last cycle is when you got this little push up and then you rolled over for the next leg down. This is return on investment. This is not a fractal of price action. This is return on investment. Hodlers, people that are holding Bitcoin, where they're at on their investment, okay? You roll down at this exact point in time, like within the next few days, right? We also looked at on midterm years, return on investment on midterm years, which we are currently in. Same dang thing. This is every midterm year, okay? There's been 3. This is the 4th. So the orange line represents the cumulative average of all 3 previous. And you can see we're pretty much spot on. Any day, let me zoom in on this. Any day, we could be headed down. Now, we're in this area right here. We're on day 83. This right here, the average is day 85, where the crash begins, or the next leg down, not necessarily crash, is day 85. That is the cumulative average from the 3 previous midterm years of Bitcoin. So we are right there, guys. We are right here, okay? And it moved down to what is known as the bottom. So get ready for your alts. Get ready for everything. We should be bottoming. My target's really 48 to 55K. I know it's a big range, but whatever. That's my target. I'll show you this one more time. We've had this on the charts. You know, we've had this on the chart for months. Boom, months. I mean, I've been drawing this since the top. Since before we got in circle 7 or 8, circle 7, 8, 9 were on the chart. So I expect this. And that's from like 40K to 58K. And really, I mean, if I just had to pinpoint that, I would. I don't know. I like it. I like to take out this wick right here. I would really like to take out that wick. So probably right about there. Somewhere in there, 48, 49K. I like this big macro wick. None of this got taken right here. Look at that. None of that got taken. I like to come swoop this and let that be the end of it. That's what I like. And this has been on the chart, guys. You guys who have followed long enough, you know I didn't just put these here just to do this. These circles have been here. And I fully expect a rotation down into this one. Look how long. You spent 9 months here, guys. We're not just going to come 1 month in here and rip out. Okay, you spent 9 months in this area. You took how many shots at the lows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've only taken 1 shot at the low so far. We're not done here, in my opinion. Oh, getting the WorldCoin. Ooh, 2-week red dot. WorldCoin's moving down, guys. Ooh, I got to go. WorldCoin's down 29 cents. Moving down to my target, guys. Wow. All right, guys. Get ready to make a lot of money. Get in the VIP Discord. Join me on Copy Trade. This is your last chance. I'm shutting it off in 5 days. Get in there. Let's make some money, guys. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Remember, no stream tomorrow. We'll be back Monday back in the homestead.